Catch up on all the live shows right here on africatechradio.com.
Hi, you're welcome to Back to Base, the program that seeks to inspire and captivates its listeners by sharing the remarkable stories of tech pioneers and innovators from all over the world. And these pioneers, what they do is they tell us how they started and tell us where they are. Give us some, I like to say, nuggets. Give us advice for those who are still planning on being in this space. Back to Base is here to bridge the gap and humanize these founders and innovators. Now, our mission is to take you on a captivating journey where we delve into the minds of these remarkable individuals and explore the thought processes that fueled their achievement. We want to demystify, to make sure you know that these people are humans, right? And that how do motivational speakers say? They say if you perspire to retire, you will not desire. So we're just going to do that. All right. Today we'll be having a conversation with the CEO and co-founder of NetApps Technologies, and of course I know that he has founded many other companies. He is a serial entrepreneur. Hello, sir.
Good afternoon, Lillian.
Good afternoon, sir. So how are you doing today?
I'm fine. I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Oh, of course. Thank you for joining us today. So I want to start the way I always start. I like to go back to base, right? Tell me about how you... First of all, I know that you didn't start with NetApps, right? You started with another company. So what company was that?
Well, actually, I started with a software company also, named Business Software Solutions Limited. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we actually build enterprise solutions, ERP solutions for both the public and private organizations, sector organizations. More like what I call not generalized applications, they're just specialized ones. So we tailor it to meet the client's need here.
Okay.
And just as you said, you're taking me back the memory lane.
Yeah, so why did you even start with software? Why did you go into this tech space of all the spaces you could dive into?
It's a long story, but then I think I will try and make it short. Mm-hmm. First and foremost, I actually studied computer science. And, even while in school, I was so much keen into programming. And even as at that time, then, it's easier for you to sell ice to an Eskimo than for you to sell software to companies in Nigeria. And the level of awareness is not what it is today. So it was very difficult. But then I actually had a bit of knack for it. So my early work life also gave me another insight or advantage when it comes to tech. So I was fortunate to provide services to blue chip companies, the likes of Chevron, Shell, Ajib, MTN, and NLNG, and at different points in time. So yes. But from day one, I have been into tech. But then that is my work life. Now, why did I set up Business Software Solutions Limited? I actually saw that there was a need to do things different from what it was obtainable then. As at then, what we used to was more or less what we call the GUI, Graphic User Interface Applications, and in which, even in terms of maintenance, the cost and everything is crazy. You deploy it on a server, and then you ensure that there's network and every other systems are connected to the server, and then you have the client version installed on all the computers. And we thought it wise that there's something that that's in vogue, which is the web. Why not let's more or less come up with something that is easier to deploy, easier to use, and then and this is where we found ourselves. It's a journey of how many years, but then we've been through that, setting up so many companies also. Yeah.
So before we continue your journey, I'm just curious, right? A lot of people would like to start something, but they don't know the first step to take in starting their business. Okay, I want to start a software company. Oh, okay, I know that I have seen something I can start in my own strengths, but then how do I know that it's going to sell? This overthinking has made a lot of people drop their business dreams. So what process do you use in evaluating whether or not this is a good prospect, this is a good business to start?
First and foremost, I agree with you. it's not all business ideas actually are marketable, so to speak. But the first and foremost is that you definitely will have to have a business idea. And when we talk about business ideas, there are so many ways in which you can generate a business idea. It could just be within your community. What is happening within your community? There are problems to be solved. There are some problems that might not be so deep that you might come up with, and then if you do not run it through certain schematics, and then you just go out and build a product, you then eventually discover that your market segment is not much. So, but you need first to have a business idea, and you must believe in that idea. You should be able to ask a couple of friends and families of their opinions on those ideas. As I said, it could be part of our everyday problem that we need to solve, and then some people also develop ideas based on what I call hobbies. They have an art of actually coming up with something innovative solution that is not even there, but then solves a problem. But you should be able to, first of all, run it through, look at if there are products out there in the market. Are they really trying to solve the same problem that you want to solve? And if they are, how will you want to solve it differently? You need to look at your market segment first also. And then, before you start going down to say, okay, what kind of product do you want to build? Is it a product that will scale, or is it a product that is limited, and so on and so forth? But you need to have that business idea and convince yourself, believe in your idea, convince yourself that the idea is going to scale once you've considered all those factors, and then you go ahead and then start the development. And then there's so many segments to it. There's a tech side to it, even with the idea. There's a tech side. How do you transform that idea now into solution via technology? Which tools will you use to be able to achieve this product? What's the business angle? And so on and so forth. So, but first, you need to have a good idea that you believe in.
Okay, and find a problem or a solution to a problem, and people will buy it.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Now, tell me how you went into co-founding NetApps.
NetApps was actually founded in 2015, October to be precise, in 2015. And then it was just more or less, okay, I think we need to get into the payment space. Let us set up something and then see how we're going to pursue it. Initially, it was more or less looking at playing out in the credit finance sector. Playing out in the credit finance sector. How can we actually give out credit to people from the comfort of their homes, right? And what is obtainable in the traditional businesses where you need to go to each of the companies or apply it there, and then there's no synergy. You can collect from company A, company B, company C, and then the level of delinquency is high, and so on and so forth, the risk. How can we mitigate this risk and then come up with something that is formidable? As I then, when we did, we reached out to a couple of entities in terms of licensing. Then there was nothing like that by the regulator right now, CBN. And we just continued our thing until sometime around 2019 when there are licenses for it. Because, of course, the license will give you the enablement and the framework for you to actually work with it. And it also helps to promote you better, especially in terms of foreign stuff. Where we picked it up again and said, okay, this time around we need to go. And then, we went ahead and applied to CBN. That we need a license, and the PSSP license to be precise. And then we are giving one in 2021. The approval in principle came out, and in 2022, the commercial license came on board. And that's where the journey of NetApps technology actually started. So we're a full-fledged payment solution service provider, licensed to provide anything that has to do solutions that has to do with payments within the fintech space.
Okay. And how do you stay ahead of the curve? How do you ensure that you're constantly identifying new opportunities in a rapidly evolving market? Are there any specific strategies that you practice or you follow?
Yeah, definitely. For you to really remain relevant and also be on top of your game, you need to actually think ahead. We are conscious also that we have a lot of competitors out there. So we know that even lots of companies have even started even far before us. And for us to do things, we need to do it differently for us to be able to get the market we're actually looking out for. So from time to time, we'll do a whole lot of, we'll have town hall meetings and try to sample opinions from our customers and from the employees, both tech and non-tech. of some of the services that we think that customers might actually need, and then look at the cost-benefit analysis and the time frame it's going to take, and then we take decisions on whether to build them or not. Let me give, for instance, we'll try and see money as not just money. We'll look at it from how people use money, the pattern to which they use money. Some is just to send money. Some might decide to say, okay, I'm not sending money at every point in time. I need to log into my app to send money. Why not let me be able to schedule it as recurring? Some will say, okay, all of us, for different use cases, we're sending money to our parents, for instance, on a monthly basis, but then this is the proportion to which we send. So why not let's schedule that such that at every point in time, the system prompts us, and then we just say yes, and then select the bank account, and the amount assigned to us is being sent. So we'll look at how best to play around with the acts of sending money, so being innovative, and we'll try to incorporate that into our solution. This is what we know that a lot of products out there don't have. So yeah.
Okay, what challenges have you faced as a company? I'm talking about NetApps now, because it's not always going to be rosy all the time. And how did you overcome those challenges?
There are so many challenges, and there's still some challenges still that we face. It's not as rosy as it seems. Mm-hmm. That's the truth. First starts with the licensing. It's just like a camel going through the eye of a needle. You must be on top for you to be able to get your license. The documentation, the paperwork, and the likes of them. But then, yeah, it's good. The regulators, why they have that in place. To get a license is an issue. The funding, wasn't an issue for us. But then, for someone that is thinking of getting into the space, it's not easy bringing 100 million for a PSSP license. So, to a great extent, some people argue for that it kills innovation. But then, of course, this is money. It needs to be regulated. So, yeah.
Wait, did you say 100 million?
100 million, yes.
That
for the license category that we've gone for, it's 100 million.
Oh, my God. Okay.
It's 100 million.
Mm-hmm.
And for the entire spectrum, it's 250 million. Looking at the PTSP, also the super agents and the likes of them. So for people coming on board, there's a bit of limitation, but then no hope lost. As I said, it's all about you getting your idea. You might not necessarily apply for the license. You can as well leverage on people, service providers that have their licenses, their payment gateway infrastructure, and plug in your solution to it. And when you scale and make money, then you can apply for yours. So yeah. The other challenges that we had was also partnership. Because when you are a startup, so to speak, in a new field, especially the fintech space, you definitely require a lot of synergy. Partnership with, let's say, for instance, the telcos, the service providers, so to speak. Partnership with insurance companies, the banks, and so on and so forth. Recently, we've just signed up a partnership deal with Providence Bank and also Weber Bank. And we're going to provide a virtual card and a couple of other services integrated into our solution, at least to stay on top of our game. So those are part of the challenges, yes, that is prevalent within the industry. But then they are also mountable. The only thing that it takes time, and then, yeah.
All right. I would like to even know how one can bag these partnerships. It's just like looking for investment. It is very difficult in the tech space, but it is possible. It's just for you to know some tips and tricks and know who to meet. But we'll do that when we come back from this break.
Do you want to save time and avoid the stress it takes to do multiple transactions? Or is it about that time of the month when you need to pay salaries? To help you with that, NetApps SwiftPay makes it simple to send funds anywhere, anytime, connecting you to over 50 banks and wallets globally. NetApps SwiftPay, better way to pay.
All right, it is still Africa Tech Radio. My name is Lillian and you're listening to Back to Base. Back to Base is that program. I just like saying it humanizes tech founders and lets you know that you can do it. You can be there. And that is why we bring these founders on board to tell us about their journey, How has it been for you? What do you see? What are your projections? What are your advice, or what is your advice for the up and comers? And we have been talking to Edwin. He is the co-founder of NetApps Technology. Hello once more.
Yeah, hello, Lillian.
Hi. Okay, so we're going to just continue, right? Yes, I'm talking about how people can spot, partnerships and investments. Those who are looking to, they've already started something, right? They've already started, like that song said, take one step at a time. They've started taking one step at a time, but then they're looking for partnership and investments so that they can continue and scale. But either they don't know how to go about it, or it's not just working. So what is your take on that? How do they go about it?
When you have an idea of a problem you want to solve, before you even go about looking for partnership, you should have a convincing product ready to offer. Every investor that wants to put in money definitely wants return on their investment. It's not all ideas that will sell, so you definitely will have to convince that investor of the reasons why he has to invest his money in that business. So you should be sure of yourself and the product you'll have to offer. Secondly is that most times when someone starts a business, the person is not even really looking at it in terms of the partnership per se. Most successful business just came out of the sort of passion to solve a problem. And the cost of solving a problem, one will now realize that, hey, I need money to be able to take care of a whole lot, working capital and the likes of them. And the first set of people that you might actually reach out to might be friends and family. They have this idea, have this concept. And if they believe in you and the likes of them, some might say, okay, take this 500,000, take this 1 million, take this 2 million, and let's see what you come up with, right? Especially in this environment where it's not easy for you to walk into the bank and then with an idea and concept and get facility. It's all like what is obtainable out there. In Nigeria, no bank will honor you. In that regard, definitely they need to collateralize their investment. And then not even that, you need to also walk through the camel walking through the eye of the needle for you to get money from the banks. That's the truth. So the closest is friends and family, right? And they are what we call the angel investors. Most times they are the ones that will really invest in your company and they see how it scales. So for you to really look out for, there are also kind of other investors that might come in, people, but then that's if you're fortunate to join or to be able to reach out to one of the venture capitalists. And then, yes, they can invest in your company. But then most times it's always friends and family that starts it up. And then along the line, you've grown the product, then yeah, you can now start reaching out to more people that have bigger funds to invest in your company. But how do you spot it? When you go and you talk to your angel investors and they're able to put in believe in you, and you come up with a product, and then you're able to run a small, you push it out there, and the community might not be so much. It could still be friends and family. It could still be a larger group than that. And then you get a pulse of people. That tells you how it's going to be accepted within the market. With your facts and your data, you can as well just reach out to people and then present it and make you know, believing that somebody will believe in you and then yes, put in money. There is no fast route to it. It's just do your thing and believe yes, it's going to scale. Yes.
So make your product or service very irresistible, so that
yes, let it very exactly.
So before you approach them, they will approach you, sir.
Yeah, it happens both ways. Somebody, maybe an angel investor, might actually see it and he likes it and talks to another angel investor, and the person will say, okay, I want to see that product, and you understand. At times, you might even limit yourself and limit the horizon that the product will reach out to. You understand? Mm-hmm. But then they will tell you that no, you can scale this even beyond. You understand what you think of, and then yeah, you make your money from it. But believe in your idea, believe in your concept, come up with a good product that delivers solutions to problems differently from what is obtainable out there, or an innovative idea that people can believe in, and then yeah, the money will come.
Okay. So I'm curious. I know, like we have said like numerous times right now, that you are a serial entrepreneur, right? You for those who don't understand, a serial entrepreneur is someone who has founded or co-founded multiple businesses. So you have done that. I'm just curious to know whether there's any business you found that did not take off as you liked, or a business idea that you started and then you threw away halfway. Let me know about that.
There's still a company that was set up and we had to close. We had to shut down because, of course, we invested in it and we lost money. Just one, and I learned lessons from that. And that has to do with distributorship of different products, where I learned hard lessons, though, very hard lessons. And more or less putting automation first, any other thing. Don't trust or believe in anyone. So people are there for different purposes and things like that. But then, yeah, apart from that, all businesses I've invested into, and I'm still investing into, they're thriving. They're all thriving. Be it construction, be it real estate, be it technology, of course.
There's no one that halfway you just give up on.
No, there's no halfway. All are thriving.
Where were you? When were you born and where, sir? Let's know. Maybe it's because.
No, the thing is, well, I'm a Nigerian. I'm born. I was born in Nigeria, and I schooled in Nigeria, and I only just travel out to do business and I come back. But then the fact is this, okay. As I said, before you get into something, there are a lot of things you actually weigh. If you're invested in a company that you don't have full control over, you must believe in the people that are actually spearheading that business. They should convince enough for you to be able to actually put in your money into that venture. You must look for certain things. For me, I always look at the balance sheets. I always look at their business strategy or revenue strategy, the business model they are adopting. I always try to look at also the individual, the integrity of those persons. Is that some people are always more money conscious. Some people that are looking at solving a problem and they are so passionate about it. I always prefer the passion than the ones that are just all about the money, because I believe that you only succeed in what you have passion in, and not just providing service for service sake. So I look at all of those factors. Who are the people spearheading the business? What are their passions? Do they have integrity? And then if they do, yes, I put in my money, and I've not lost.
Let's go back further, right? First of all, were you born in a business household? Did your parents do business?
Well, I think no, I wasn't born in a business home. My parents were called civil servants. My dad was an accountant, and accountants, they don't spend money,
Oh, I know.
So, before they spend money, definitely there must be justification for that. So yeah, my mom also was a civil servant, and so none of us. I think I'm the very first business person in my main house, but then I could say that I took a beat from my cousin, who it's my mentor, my friend. Yeah, he was the first entrepreneur that we had, and he started from nothing into building what I call a conglomerate. But then he's a civil engineer, and he told me that when I wanted to start, he said there are three things that would set you apart from the rest. The first is discipline. The second, it's hard work, and the third is integrity. When you say no, stand by your no. When you say yes, stand by your yes. And that to sum all of this, then prayers. So, and they said, once you have this three, you have everything. And I took it serious. I ensured that in everything that I do, integrity stands before any other thing else. In every partnership that I get into, transparency and accountability, which is part of my dad, It's what has to. So, yeah, so that's just the way it is. And then we learn by the day. I was fortunate to be able to work in the tech space, and I worked in the business arm and also the tech arm. I was a technical manager at the point, and then I also was the AGM in terms of business. So I was able to develop and sell, and then just knew how to combine both together. And then,
I mean,
so we'll go for business meetings and every afternoon. Yeah.
Somebody told me that when you want to start your business, you don't just, when you want to scale or transition into tech, you don't throw away your core skills. If it is persuasion that you have, you take that persuasion skill and take it into tech space, and you will thrive.
It's more very important. Very important. I agree with you 100%.
Okay, so when you're younger,
yeah, I just want to part with this money. So
I mean, I don't know. Well,
so
I
you
think
need that.
maybe I'll come to you for some courses, because I really don't. You know, you'll be scared for them. You'll be feeling for them, right? But you're not supposed to be feeling for them. You're supposed to be feeling for your own company. My company is going under, and I'm feeling for somebody who is literally investing to make more money. So when you are younger, much younger, because of course we all had childhood dreams, right? I wanted to be an actress, and I pivoted.
And I wanted to be an aeronautics engineer.
So tell me more about that. Your childhood.
Yeah, when I was a lot younger, as I said, I wanted to be an aeronautic engineer. I look forward to flying a plane, fixing a plane when there's trouble, and the likes of them. But you know, those are, I said, if wishes are horses, so
Why did you?
Right.
Why did you not go into computer?
But the realities of life start setting in. There is this joke that was cracked by one of the comedians. He said that in Nigeria, when people are growing up, everybody wants to be a doctor, everybody wants to be a lawyer. But when Nigeria happens to you, then definitely you change your dream.
You edit it. You put it on Microsoft Word and start changing it. Oh boy. Oh, that would have been really nice. I interviewed somebody who said he wanted to fly. He wanted to build flying cars. But
yeah. And then now, as of today, we have flying cars, right?
Yeah, we do.
Flying cars are evolving.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's part of the dream.
Oh
so
boy.
Those were the dreams of yesterday. And then we're growing and maturing. We started looking at some of my friends who still wanted to be doctors and the likes of them. But then I was opportuned to meet a prof from a Federal University of Technology, Owerri, who told me then, he said, have you heard of computer science? Coincidentally then, honestly, I even applied the FUTO for agri-economics. And I got admission, and he told me, hey, guy, forget about this agri-economics. Why have you heard of
computer science?
Computer science. And I said, computer science? No, not at all. And he told me to go and find out. And then it was, of course, there was no internet. So it was more or less you have to go to the library. And then I went to a library and I read, I saw some articles on computer science, and I think that's where I actually picked that interest in it. And as at then, there were only 9 institutions that were offering that. 4 universities and then 5 polytechnics, including Yabatech, that was offering it. So it was then I'm like, it's something of the future. And and I got interested and I got hooked. So it's something I have been in all my life. It's what I love doing. It's what I sleep, what I think of. Tech.
I think that tech found you and saved you from making a big mistake. By going
absolutely. I'm in love with it. I'm in love with it. That was one about me, not the other way around.
People are leaving their medical degrees, all their degrees to go into tech. Like they are going back to school, literally studying again. So people need to know that tech is the future. Speaking of tech, MSME's Day is 27th of June, right? And today is 26th. Yeah. There are lots of companies in Nigeria, lots of companies in Africa, in the world. But these companies have refused to scale into, allow tech. I used to say something, let tech help. They have refused to let tech help. So what do you have to say about these companies who are still operating offline in the 21st century?
The truth is that in Africa, we will still have that. Let's be realistic. And that's the reason why I say that there's so much business opportunities for people that get into tech. For such companies, because you make money through them by offering and rendering services. It's not the way it seems out there that would think that every business is also has a bit of technology, you understand, embedded in services to help them grow. It's in Nigeria, it takes a while for that to happen. And then all we needed to do was what we need to do is just to keep creating awareness. Let me give an instance. sometime around 2005, even within the government circle, federal government circle, when you mention tech, it's like as if you're talking gibbish. As far back as 2005, as far back as 2010, people don't really understand what technology could do. They look at it from the perspective that the moment you have that, then of course people will be fired from their jobs, and they look at the disadvantage rather than the advantage. And not knowing that instead of focusing on something, it helps you, that is to put your attention on your skill and some other things that will help you grow. So it takes a while. The way to go about it, if you ask me, it's the policies that the federal government will have to enact. The policies also should help the medium and small scale companies to be able to scale. Federal government could say now that as a criteria to assessing some of the loans or services, that the companies could have A, B, C that are tech related, embedded you could say, okay, first and foremost, you must have a website. Okay, you should be able to have your products and services, your goods on the website, and that also you must have a payment gateway integrated inside. So the money you're no longer collecting cash, you understand? Then it goes straight to your account. The second is, even within your company, you should have a bit of an accounting software. Okay, and then if you're able to have A, B, C, then we'll be able to give you 10 million, 20 million, 50 million naira loan. So it's more or less the policies, okay, that it's that the government will enact, and then creating more awareness that will actually make people accept technology. Yeah.
So some companies
and then once we'll make money from it. We can't wait.
We can't wait to make money, actually. And some companies, the only accounting software they have is Excel.
Yes. And then when they talk about it, you'll be thinking that it's a full-fledged end-to-end automated system. The moment you say, okay, can I see it? They open up Microsoft Excel. It's an Excel.
Anyway, before we leave, let's talk about NetApps, right? What is the future of NetApps? What do you see in not just NetApps, right, but in that ecosystem in, say, 5 years? Where do you see it going?
Our vision is to be one of the global leaders within the fintech ecosystem, mobile fintech ecosystem. For us to be able to achieve this, we're looking at building solutions, product and solutions and partnership that would help us scale. In NetApps, we don't just build just a payment infrastructure. We have a payment infrastructure that we've integrated to the Nigerian interbank settlement system, and then with a couple of services that we have integrated from that platform into our solutions. We also integrated to other payment processors, the MasterCard, the Verve, the Visas, American Express for foreign remittances back and forth. We have the USSD transfers, the back transfers, and the likes of them within our payment gateway. We also have products that are being used by businesses, B2B, B2C, and also individuals peer-to-peer via their digital wallet system. So all of this is what we're trying to, as much as possible, use to solve the problems that are prevalent out there when it comes to payment. We're trying to solve the payment problem that businesses have, individuals have, companies have, government organizations have, and so on and so forth. And we see ourselves that in the next 2 or 3 years, that when they're mentioning at least the very first 5 companies, we see ourselves to be part of it. And then in 5 years' time, we should be among those that are also competing with the top 3 within the Nigerian space, for instance, and then scaling out in 5 years' time across the African continent. So we'll have a tall dream, we'll have a vision, and we'll look forward to actually realizing it. It's achievable. It's a tall one. It's achievable, but then we believe we'll get it. We'll have the expertise. We'll have everything going for us for that.
Fingers crossed. Is there anything you want to say before we leave?
I want to say thank you. Thank you once again for having us, and we'll look forward to more of this from time to time. And also, if possible, create a session whereby not only entrepreneurs, but also seasoned professionals can come, and also encourage the youths, the young ones, to get on stream. So this Japa syndrome, everybody wants to go out there. Of course, because of the fact that people do not believe there are opportunities in Nigeria. But when the tech experts tell them of possible opportunities that are available, a lot of them would definitely know that it's easier to be in here and make money lots of companies are coming into Nigeria, investing billions of dollars in the economy. It simply means they know the opportunities are there. So the opportunities are there. So my advice to young ones is look around you. There's a problem to be solved. Get into tech. You'll make money. You don't need to jabba.
All right. You don't need to jackpot. You don't need to leave Nigeria. Stay Nigeria and try and make it. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Edwin Okoro, for joining us today. He is the co-founder and the CEO of NetApps. My name is Lillian. And of course, you can call me your brown sugar.
Thanks for listening. And don't forget to catch up on all the live shows right here on africatechradio.com.